I'm Finlay and welcome back to another Beechworth Bakery baking show. Today I'm teaching you and my dad how to make scones. Step number 1, put your hair up if you have long hair. Step number 2, wash your hands. And now let's go. So first you need 3 cups of flour in a bowl. And then you put in 1/4 of a cup of caster sugar.
Yep, that's it, to get her in.
And now you also add in 1 teaspoon of salt. We have the salt.
We've already had this all pre-weighed.
And 2 tablespoons of baking powder.
The recipe will be available on the website, won't it?
Yep.
Right, now what do you do?
Now you're going to mix it in until it just looks like flour. Mix it in well. So you can't see any of those other.
So we're just dry mixing the flour at the moment. Very exciting this part, isn't it?
No.
Now what?
Now that we've done that, we are going to add in 200 mils of lemonade, which we have already measured out in this. I'm going to add that in. And you're also going to add in 3/4 of a cup of cream, which we've already measured out too.
Use your wooden spoon, that's it.
You just get it out. Get that all out. Okay. Now, you're going to mix it in until it gets to this doughy consistency.
There's no butter in this recipe, so it's beautiful.
No butter. Hang on. I need it to be facing the other way.
Yeah. Don't worry about what Mum says. Just do that.
Make sure all that flour's mixed in. This doughy consistency.
That's it. It's going real well.
Okay. Now, as it gets hard, you can have your parents there to help you. Dad, will you please mix it? Because it's getting a bit hard.
I'll just give you a little bit of a hand. It's not really that hard, is it?
Maybe not. Just, you can do what you want. You can get your parents to do it.
How do you like eating your scones?
I like eating them with jam and butter, but you can eat them with jam and cream, or jam and cream, or jam and butter. Have I already said? Or just jam, or plain. I've never tried it with whipped cream before, but I'm going to try it.
What other sort of scones can we make out of this? What are we going to make today out of this?
We're going to make plain scones out of this, but we're also going to make date scones, and you'll see how we do that.
So there you go. Are you happy with that?
Yes.
Is that about the way that you like it?
Yes. Now, as you can see, we have this doughy consistency. So first we're just going to put that off to the side. You're going to grab some flour, sprinkle it over the table.
Yep.
And also on your hands, so it doesn't stick to the table or your hands. Then you're going to bring this back.
Don't need too much flour. That's it.
Tip it over. And you're just going to get it all together if it breaks apart. Come here, your bicycle. And now you're going to push and fold, which is called kneading. Push and fold.
This is very similar to you making the Dan Kelly damper a while back, isn't it?
Yep.
Probably easier.
Push and fold. Push and fold. And this is a very simple and easy thing to make. Dad, could you?
Right. So we don't have to mix this too much, do we? And exactly like Finlay was saying, you just push and we just fold it back. Push and fold it back. Probably only going to mix it for a minute or two.
Do you have the whipped cream?
No, but when it's baking, we'll get some whipped cream.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got the jam ready for you. What's your favourite jam?
I like very, very berry, but the Beechworth Bakery also sells apricot and raspberry. I'll just take some like that.
What are you going to do with that?
Eat it.
Did you get that in? You ripper. How's that feeling? Boss, is that feeling okay?
Yes. Now,
Okay, so it's just a nice, smooth consistency. You don't really need to overmix it too much.
and now. That's really good.
That's really good. A little bit of sugar.
Now we've got to roll it out. Do you have a rolling pin? Do you have a stick? Do you have something I could use?
I think you can just use your hand like you do at home.
But it's much easier to use a rolling pin. Okay, now, you might not have a rolling pin at home. If you don't, you can use a stick. And I have no idea. Is this even a rolling pin?
Yeah, it's a
Long rolling pin.
nice stick.
Now you're just going to roll it out until it's 2.5 centimetres thick. Is that 2.5 centimetres?
Yeah, getting close. Keep going. You want to try to keep it nice and even. That's what a stick does. It'll get it nice and even.
You can use a stick or a rolling pin if you don't have a rolling pin.
Or at home, we just use our hands too, just to flatten it out.
But it's much easier to use a rolling pin.
Yeah, it looks pretty easy, doesn't it?
It looks easy.
How's that feeling?
Good.
All right, let's have a look. Yep. Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay.
Okay, now what are you going to do? Now I've got your little scraper today.
Okay, now, at home, we didn't use a scraper when we were practicing this. We used like this knife thing. That wasn't a knife. And now, you're just
Mum
going
didn't like the knife on the bench at home, did she?
No. You're just going to cut off the edges and put them to the side. So as you can see, I'm cutting off the edges. Put them to... Now you're just going to mark your squares. Where you're going to put your squares. I'm just going to cut that off. And now you're actually going to... And now you're just going to mark where your squares are going to go. And now cut. As you can see, I'm cutting it into squares. Okay, then we just put those over there. This is horrible. Now for the off ones, you can just put them in that pile and we'll use them later.
So that was Finlay a few years ago. Look how much you've grown.
Oh, shut up. And now we're just gonna... Doesn't have to be even. Now just put them in the pile.
Do you want me to put them on the tray for you?
Yep. And for the off ones, as you can see, I've made a little pile over here. Put them on the tray, please.
Again, the more even you do have it, the more even they're going to bake.
Okay, so, there you go. Now that we have this, we're just going to do the exact same. Where's the stick? You grab the stick, roll it out.
Hang on. You got it. Before you do that, before you roll it out, we're going to put some dates in.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
You're going to put in some dates in it, and this is how you make date scones.
So we're just going to fold the dates through it.
Now add some more, Daddy. I've never tried this type, but I don't really want to.
Maybe just a little bit more.
We want lots of dates. I mean, you want lots of dates.
We've only done half a recipe here that's in the cookbook. But if you do a full recipe, you can freeze the dough and then pull it out and bake it later on when you want it. That's pretty good. That's
okay,
good.
as you can see, we have that now, and we're just going to dab the carve.
The carve, that's all right.
And now you're just going to do the exact same. Cut off the edges.
Watch it go.
Just run over my edges. Hey, I need those edges.
Yeah, all right.
Move. Okay, now we're just going to...
That's perfect.
No, hang on. Okay, now we're going to do the exact... And mark off where we're going, where we're cutting. Cut there. Oh dear, I've got to cut this in half. The date ones are tiny, Dad.
Yeah, well, let's make them bigger. Let's make the date scones a little bit bigger. And so what we can do is we can just join this together like that to get the size that we want.
There's a date scone right there.
There, and look, we'll just hand mold this one a little bit and get it nice and round.
And as you can see, we've got date scones now.
What have we got?
Date.
Look at that. Are you happy with that? Ruth, here goes. So let's get these in the oven. How long does it take to put in the oven?
18. Let me come back to the camera. It takes 18 to 20 minutes at 180 degrees.
Right. We'll see you shortly once these are out of the oven.
Bye. So now that our scones are out of the oven and baked, we are going to eat them.
They're still nice and warm, Finlay.
Okay, so now we've got Dad cutting into our date scone, and I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to cut it in half. Okay, so here we have our... Oh, no.
Look at that.
Here we have our...
Date scones. You want to try date one for your first time?
Here we have whipped cream, very, very berry, which is my personal favourite,
Lots of butter.
apricot jam, And there is also raspberry jam that you can get.
And are you going to try the fresh cream, our fresh whipped cream?
Yes.
Righto, here's your cream.
Well done. Water. Okay.
Yep, that'll be fine.
I'm just gonna rub that in there. This kind of looks really good.
It does, yeah,
Get
that's
lots
it.
in.
Right, should we eat some now?
Hang on, let me get it on the other.
You can have two, or you give one to Lainey.
I don't know. Yeah, sure. You want this?
Surely after. Come on. I'm hungry. This is smelling good.
Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Well done.